Hello, everyone. Welcome back, or welcome if you are brand new. My name is Erin, and I am the Erintainer. I know it's a little corny, but I like to consider it to be very, very charming. Quick question. Why do weddings bring the absolute worst out in everyone? I swear, everyone who talks about weddings makes it sound like it's a terrible idea to ever have one, which is ironic because I'm getting married this year. Ugh, No, I'm very excited. It's going to be fun. Expensive, but fun. Okay, let's jump right into this story. We're sharing one today, but it is a juicy. Let's jump right on in. Am I the a-hole for leaving my sister's wedding early after her maid of honor humiliated me in her speech? I, 27 female, was a bridesmaid at my older sister's wedding last week. The wedding was beautiful and everything seemed perfect until the reception. During the reception, the maid of honor, who has been my sister's best friend since childhood, gave her speech. It was emotional and all, but then she made a joke about how I was the family screw-up who finally managed to do something right by not messing up my bridesmaid duties. Whoa, like, why? Why did she do that? Everyone laughed, but I didn't find it funny. Yeah, I can see why you wouldn't find it funny. Like, what's the point of bringing someone else down? I just don't get that. Why? Especially in front of a ton of people. For context, I've had a rough few years. I struggled with my mental health and dropped out of college for a while, but I've since gotten my life back on track, but it's still a sensitive topic for me. Hearing that joke in front of all of our family and friends wasn't funny at all. My sister's best friend and I never really got along, but I still never expected something like this from her. Especially the day wasn't about me at all, then why bring me up in the speech? Exactly. I tried to stay composed, but I felt the tears coming, so I quietly left the reception and went outside to collect myself. My sister followed me out and asked what was wrong. When I told her, she said it was just a joke and she meant nothing bad. I tried to go back inside, but I just couldn't, and I ended up leaving the wedding early. My parents understood why I was upset, but my sister is angry with me. I do feel terrible for leaving, but I also feel like I had the right to feel hurt and humiliated. Which you absolutely did. You had every right to feel hurt and humiliated because someone set out to hurt and humiliate you. If your sister's going to be pissed at anyone, she should be mad at her maid of honor. Why bring you down? Just because it's your special day, like it's not going to add or take away from the specialness of the special wedding day to just not bring you up at all. Especially when she should know that like it's a very sensitive subject, a very sensitive topic. This is why you shouldn't do speeches at weddings because like it's a waste of time. Nobody really wants to hear them. And someone always says some stupid crap. Just don't even have a speech at the wedding. Do them at the rehearsal dinner. Smaller crowd, more intimate crowd. And just don't insult anyone else ever. Just be nice. Everyone has some demon they're fighting that you have no idea about. So just be kind. Edit. I said nothing at the moment because I didn't want to cause a scene on my sister's special day. And I can't reason with her right now because she will just ask me if I haven't been taking my meds lately because that's what she does when she's angry with me. I freaking hate that when you open up to somebody about your mental health and they hold it against you as if medicine is just supposed to heal all of the problems. Some days are better than others. It's so frustrating that she's doing this to you. This is so terrible. I'm so sorry. So I'm giving her some time to maybe realize how her best friend's joke was out of line. Edit 2. Someone asked me if my sister's best friend and I argued before, or did I give her a reason to do this? My sister's best friend and I never went past hi. She told me before, a few years ago, that she in general doesn't feel comfortable around someone struggling mentally because in her head, God only knows what they're capable of. I'm so sorry. What? Wait. Is she implying that you might, like, do something terrible? What in the world this is why people don't talk openly about their mental health struggles. But guess what? It's the people that, like, usually don't get the help for their mental health that end up doing the atrocious things. So you should be friggin' grateful that this person has dealt with their mental health and is actually way more self-aware than this Maid of Honor is. What a little B word. Plus, you don't think that maybe like triggering someone emotionally and making them feel bad is going to maybe, I don't know, trigger their mental health issue? What in the world? I'm getting heated. I'm getting pissed off. I'm getting really mad. You know when that happens, I'll start saying some crazy shite. Oh my gosh. I already hate your sister-in-law or this best friend or whoever the she is. People on Reddit said, not the a-hole. From the way you describe your sister's reaction, her BFF feels free to belittle you because your sister always goes along with it. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if her maid of honor ran that joke by your sister for approval beforehand. If your sister considers insulting you in a public setting like that to be a joke, you can bet money that they have shared similar jokes between them before. Yeah, they both sound like B words. The shots about taking your meds shows sis doesn't have a lot of empathy for your situation or respect you as a person. I don't see her apologizing if that's the case. I could be wrong in my suspicions, but everything you describe tells me I'm not. This is so mean. Like, these are two mean girls. Why do you have to like what part of you is so insecure and hates your life that when it's your special day, you're going to have your best friend insult your sister who you know has challenges with their mental health. And then you're going to get mad when that person has an emotional reaction to the thing that was intended to make them have an emotional reaction. Get out of here, please, with that. Rude. I can't. It makes me really angry. We have an update. Hi. Thanks to everyone who took the time to comment on my post and gave their opinion or advice without being too harsh. I apologize if my update is messy or confusing. I'll try to cover everything, but I don't know when to add context for clarification. If you think there's anything missing, just let me know. The same day I posted her original post, my dad called to check up on me and see if my sister and I had talked things out. When I told him no, he said it's better if we talk about it now and assured me that I have nothing to apologize for. Okay, great. There's one reasonable, logical, kind person in your family. If my sister thinks she has nothing to apologize for, then the least she can do is make her best friend apologize or fully realize that the joke was out of line. By the way, my brother and I met 4 days ago, and he told me that brother-in-law, my sister's husband, didn't like the way the maid of honor called me a screw up in front of everyone, and some of those who laughed voiced later that they did so out of nervousness. Okay, so at least she married a nice person. I don't know how these nice people find these like terrible ones to marry. Like, don't you want someone on your same level of terribleness or niceness or better than you? Like, I think my fiance is way better than me. And I'm like, yay, he's better than me. He'll make me a better person. Like, and I'm not mean. I'm very nice. I hate being mean. I don't like, even if I vent about something, I'm like, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'm so sorry. On Monday, my sister called me to talk. When I made it to her place, her best friend was on the phone and didn't put it down for a second. Ugh, this B word. My sister started by saying that just a few years ago, I would have laughed hard and not taken the joke as an insult. I told her maybe some laughed because they don't know the reason she called me a screw up. For context, when I was 16, something happened, and that's why I struggled mentally really badly between 16 and 18. When I was 17, I was diagnosed with PTSD and later with depression and anxiety. Since then, I don't like it when someone touches my head, especially my hair and the back of my head or neck. My sister knows everything. That's effing terrible. During our conversation, my sister did most of the talking. At some point, I felt like my sister had called me just to blame me again without trying to understand my perspective. When I tried to talk, she put her hand on the back of my neck and pulled me toward her with each sentence as if to say, "Do you understand?" or "Okay." What is she doing? And also, I feel like she's belittling you, talking to you like you're not going to get it. You're not going to understand, like you're a child. Get the F out of here. She sounds like an absolute monster. 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 Pretty ugly on the inside. Don't care how pretty you are on the outside. I hated it and felt irritated. I honestly kept thinking if I pushed her away, would I be in the wrong? Would they just call me mental and tell family I got physical? Oh my God. She's putting you in such an uncomfortable situation. She's probably doing it on purpose for that reason. I tried to leave, but she insisted that no one was leaving until we sort this out. I told her best friend to just apologize. She refused and reminded my sister that I was the reason her husband got angry at her on their wedding day because I couldn't take a joke. Why are we like, what? Okay, when someone comes to you and says, hey, when you said or did this, it hurt me, the appropriate response, if you're not an effing B word or a mean girl, is, I am sorry. How simple is that? I'm sorry. I should have thought about that. I'll do better next time. That's way less complicated than whatever the heck this is here. Lord. Why are you so terrible? This is to the maid of honor and the bride. Why are you both so terrible? When I tried to explain why I couldn't take a joke, edit, I told her if she had focused her speech on the bride or groom, then maybe he wouldn't have had a reason to be angry. She refused to listen and brushed my words off. Wow, why this is your older sister? It sounds like you're way more mature than her with all your mental issues. God. She said, yeah, whatever, sorry. I was glad it was finally over, and I was about to leave. I heard her say, can't take a joke that everyone knows is true. Both of them laughed, but my sister stopped mid-laugh and apologized. I didn't say anything, and this is cruel. This is absolutely cruel. Why? What is the end goal for you? Didn't you just get married? Aren't you supposed to be happy? So what part of you is so sad about your life and so unhappy with your life that you have to bring your sister down who has been going through a difficult time? You're going to get divorced because it sounds like your husband doesn't like mean bitches. Just saying, you're a bitch. I think I've had enough. I mean, I know I've had a few rough years. I dropped out of college for a while, fine, but I've since gotten my life back on track. My parents helped me through it all and never made me feel like a burden. Oh, I'm so glad you have their support. You know what? Your sister's probably jealous that you got like extra care and love from them. Screw her. At first, I was on some strong meds that made me feel tired and sleepy most of the time. After a while, I started to feel a little bit better with therapy and my family's support. During that period, it was me, my parents, and my brother. My sister was 3 hours away for a job and used to visit sometimes and would often bring her best friend along with her. Looking back, I don't want to say she hates me, but I know she felt ashamed to have a family member struggling with mental health issues. I don't know how to explain this. Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, it's hard enough to like kind of relearn who you are once you've been diagnosed with something. It helps you understand yourself a lot better, but it can also create a lot of like confusion and questions. And so for her to like exacerbate those more and be mean to you for no reason, it's so messed up. I don't care how close to God she thinks your sister is. I don't think she's going to heaven. Just saying, treat your own sister like this just because she has literally PTSD. Get out of here. I've made up my mind and decided to go no contact for now. Good for you. If my parents and my brother who were there when I was going through it all never made me feel that they're ashamed of me, then why would she? I'm still on some meds, but feels much better than before. I have a stable job. I have my own place and friends who love me for who I am. Yay. I can say I'm proud of myself a little. A lot. You should be proud of yourself a lot. And yes, you should go no contact. If people, it doesn't matter how they related to you, how long you've known them, if they do not make you feel good about yourself, there's no reason you need to stay in contact with them. Cut them off. Cut them off. I love my family to death and tried to maintain a relationship with my sister all these years, but I'm trying to improve myself and not constantly be reminded of what I was a few years ago. Yeah, I think that's like one of the biggest takeaways here for me is like, if somebody knows you're going through a hard time or knows you went through a hard time, then why are they bringing it up and like almost using it against you? Like, yay, I'm glad you're doing better now, but like, let me just remind you of when you were in the darkness of your depression. Something must be wrong with you. God must not love you if you have depression. Like, That's one of my biggest pet peeves that people do is when they know you're dealing with something hard and they make you feel worse or make a joke that's going to make you feel worse about the situation or reminds you. It's like people if you want to change, I've said this before, it's really hard to grow if someone keeps trying to keep you as the person you're trying to be different than. Like if someone knew you in high school and they keep expecting you to be the same type of person you were in high school, and you're like, "I'm not that person anymore. Stop trying to make me that person. That's not me anymore." And it makes me feel like I'm digressing instead of progressing when you constantly remind me that I might have had an issue in the past or in high school or wherever. It's really hard to grow if you have people constantly reminding you of your lowest points in your life. Like, who the hell does stuff like that? I'm sorry that your sister's such a terrible person, and I really, really hope you stay no contact with her, and I'm so glad you have your family to support you. This one was a little bit more serious, but hopefully you guys got a little enjoyment out of it. Look, I'm here to Erintain. I'm not always going to make you laugh. I hope I do. I hope I make your day slightly better in some way. But at the end of the day, I just want people to be happy and kind to each other. So on that note, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and just be nice out there. People are battling demons that you know nothing about, even the happiest person. Just be kind, please. Otherwise, I might talk shit about you on my channel. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in my next one very soon. Bye.